count, but it does tonight as we get to watch these two teams kind of find their way with the regular season a week away. Hubert Davis in his 5th season, Kevin Young in his 2nd. Both teams made the NCAA tournament last year, and first shot off the glass and in for North Carolina as Evans gets his first bucket. Richie Saunders. And this is Rob Wright, the transfer from Baylor, one of the top transfers in the country. He weaves his way in, leaves it too high, and it's off of Kebakeda and out of bounds. North Carolina last year 23-14, 13-7 in the ACC. Down low and blocked by DeBonsa as we look at the starting 5 for the Tar Heels. No Luka Bogovac tonight. They're hoping to see him next week in their 2nd and final exhibition game before the regular season.
A little bit bigger Carolina team with Jaron Stevenson in there at 6'10", but not quite the shooting prowess from the outside.
And there's a newcomer for North Carolina in Henry Vassar, transfer from Arizona, taking a couple extra steps. He had 2 big games against BYU last year in the Big 12.
Yeah, Vassar, a great addition for Carolina. At 7 feet, he can go out and stretch defenses and cause you to defend all the way to the perimeter, but he's a rim protector on defense.
Here's a look at the Cougars. Wright, Saunders, Davis, DeBonsa, and Kebakeda.
Yeah, look at these 2 lineups. There's lots of new faces, and that's the story of college basketball these days with the transfer portal. For BYU, a freshman, 2 transfers, and then 2 returning players in their starting 5.
Wright maneuvering around. Davis has his shot blocked. Swatted by Wilson. And now Wilson has it knocked away by Davis. Keda lays it in for BYU's first 2. Kebakeda, they're looking for big things from him down low. And here come the Cougars again. Saunders for 3. Tipped in by Keda.
And Kebakeda he's a force inside, and the way he runs the floor is a big. He beats people down the floor, effort, gets him.
Is going to go to the line. We walked in with a scout from the Pelicans, and we were talking about Wilson and DeBonsa, and he goes, how about Richie Saunders? He's also an NBA player.
There's a bunch of them here, and we talked to both coaches earlier today, and Kevin Young, BYU's head coach, said Vassar, he's a legit NBA guy at 7 feet with the ability to shoot with touch. And you see as he shoots free throws, he's got a really nice touch on the basketball and a good rotation on the ball, as big as he is.
Shot 59% from the field last season. And Hubert Davis, happy to see him in Carolina blue. He had a dozen against BYU in Tucson, and then he had 17 against BYU in Provo.
When Kevin Young says, yeah, that's a bona fide NBA guy, he spent so many years in the NBA, I trust his opinion.
Saunders from the corner.
At BYU's practice, we asked Kevin Young, who's the best shooter on the team? Like, catch and shoot guy. He goes, looked at us like, how do you even dare ask that? It's Richie Saunders. The things that make him special is he can do that, but he can defend and rebound very well. He's an NBA guy.
3-point shot by Evans, who was at Colorado State last year. And there's the first bucket of the game, a dunk for Caleb Wilson.
And Vassar with a nice feed. The rebound in the feed, that's the other thing. Vassar can pass the basketball.
Evans gets a piece of Wright. That'll send Rob to the free throw line.
So look at that vision And that's what Rob Wright is going to bring to BYU. You feel like you're constantly under pressure when he's in the game on offense. And how about the heads-up rebound and wrap-around pass by Vassar to get that ball to his teammate?
Wright averaged 11.5 points last year for Baylor. First team All Big 12 on the freshman squad. And led the Bears with 148 assists.
21 starts as a true freshman at Baylor, which is a big-time program. And yeah, his ability to push the pace and to just go by people is what makes him special. And then he's very strong. So once he gets a little bit ahead of you, he'll seal you off and he'll get into the paint deep with great vision.
Played just the first half at Nebraska last week in BYU's first exhibition game, which the Huskers won by a point. Vassar over Keita. And there's Rob Wright on the rebound. Out ahead to A.J. DeBonsa. Runs out of room, turns it over. Tar Heels hold.
Powell, another nice influx of talent for these Tar Heels. West Virginia started the last 23 games last year and averaged 8.3 points, 3.1 rebounds, and 30 minutes a game down the stretch for West Virginia.
Played against these Cougars twice. 5 steals to just 1, with BYU the advantage there as DeBonsa goes up high. Tar Heels bring it down. Dixon into the lane. Knocks in his first 2.
Really nice touch over the top of the big shot blocker. Dixon, the Washington, D.C. Gatorade Player of the Year. Is everybody out on the floor Gatorade Player of the Year from somewhere?
Keita leaves it short, and the battle for the rebound. The foul will go against BYU. And it is Boop picking up the personal.
Yeah, Derek Dixon, Washington, D.C. Gatorade Player of the Year. 80 made threes last year, which is a lot in a high school season. Averaged 14.1 a game.
Alexei Kosic into the game for BYU, along with Mihailo Boskovic. So Kevin Young's going to Eastern Europe for some muscle here in the first half. Wilson. We talk about the shooting touch of the big 7-footer. He misses on this 3. But we watched him light it up at Arizona all last season. Now Wright. And we'll get things organized. Look for a lane to the basket. Creates one off the glass and in for Rob Wright.
And when you think of Rob Wright, you think of speed and quickness, but the word that comes to mind is relentless. He just is on attack, and he'll step back and attack again and attack until you break down on defense, and then he'll take advantage of it with either with a pass or with finishing.
Boskovic on the rebound. Vassar had a good look on the second chance. 14-8 BYU, and here's Wright again this time. Wilson saying, take that weak stuff out of here. Now the Tar Heels with the advantage. The lob and the finish. And a power dunk by Seth Trimble. His first bucket of the night.
Boy, and Seth Trimble, such a great athlete, and Hubert Davis is really counting on him for leadership. He's the senior. He's the only returning guy with significant minutes from last year. And I like what he said. He said he's always led on the floor and with his effort and everything, but he's found a voice. As we watch A.J. DeBonsa just rise
right
up.
over Wilson.
Right over the top of Caleb, who's one of the best defenders in the country already. I can tell you, as a freshman, with his length and quickness.
DeBonsa with 5 points. They'll switch A.J. and Wright at the point. And that trip down the floor, the 6'9" freshman took the lead. Now Trimble working on DeBonsa. Vassar having all kinds of trouble there. Wanted the foul. Boskovic to DeBonsa. Some contact, and the foul will go against Wilson. And that'll send A.J. back to the free throw line.
And as you mentioned, these two know each other. They've played in a couple of different all-star tournaments together. Both top 5 recruits, number 5 and number 1 in the country. Both projected lottery picks, but they've been on the same team when they played. So now they're facing each other one-on-one. We talked about DeBonce's ability to play defense and Kevin Young challenging him. We talked to Hubert Davis about Caleb Wilson, and he said, oh, yes, he absolutely can be a lockdown defender with his length on the perimeter. In the McDonald's All-American game, A.J. had 17, Wilson had 3. And then the Jordan Brand Classic, Wilson had 28, and A.J. had 25. They were teammates in that All-Star showdown. Jerem.
It was a busy offseason for A.J. He enrolled at BYU in April. He spent the summer with USA's U19 national team, participated in the World Championships in Switzerland. He won the MVP, won gold. He was on the Slam magazine cover recently, AP first team All-American. So I said, what of all these activities was your favorite from the summer? He said, going to the F1 race in Monaco was the highlight. I said, did you see the movie with Brad Pitt? He said, no, I saw the real thing.
Yeah.
You know, he also served up a lot of ice cream cones at the McDonald's there in Provo, right by campus. So he was a man on the move. As North Carolina turns it over, and Stevenson throws it away, and Cougars get possession up by 8. And both these kids, such high praise from the coaches who recruited them. And Kevin Young, they did a home visit with the Wilsons in that process, and they had great talents, such fine young men. And boy, these two teams are fortunate to have them. 3-point shot from Boskovic. And out come the Tar Heels with it. Dixon. And a whistle away stops things. We get some debris off the floor.
He may have the biggest impact of all of the transfers.
An air ball from the corner. A second look and then a third look, and the tip from Caleb Wilson. His 4th point, and it's 18-12. Kennard Davis back into the game for BYU. Kostic backs it out. Outstanding shooter. And Davis took an extra step, waiting for some help, and BYU turns it over. Let's go down to Jerem.
The BYU huddle, Richie Saunders did a lot of vocalizing as a leader there. Tim Fanning talked about defensively being at the nail at the corner of the elbow, and Kevin Young came in at the end. Talked about playing off 2, feet in the paint. He said, we're getting blocked when we play off 1.
Thanks, Jerem. Good looking open 3. And that's Jaron Stevenson. He was at Alabama last year, played against BYU in the NCAA tournament. His first bucket here tonight.
27 starts at Bama for him, and he's a guy that can knock down threes.
Boskovic coming all the way in. Tipped up by Staten. And this is Wilson. 6'10", he can bring the ball down like a guard, play like a forward, and finish like a center. Another 3, this one from Dixon. And we're tied at 18. 5 points for Dixon.
We talked about 80 made threes in high school, and then you look at the last time down the floor, it's Stevenson, who in just 74 games made 63 threes for Alabama.
Bonsa swatted by Messer out of bounds. An 8-0 run for the Tar Heels over the last minute 14.
BYU went under the screen that time. Boskovic went under the screen and left some room there.
Bansa waiting for some movement, and the big 7-footer giving him some trouble.
The portal with Rob Wright, and all of a sudden, high expectations, and then there's one of your veterans.
Cater kind of just tipped that one to himself and then finished with 6 points. Rob Wright was put back into the game as Kevin Young not happy with the movement on the floor, and DeBonce's out for the first time. Sloppy play and knocked out of bounds. It'll stay North Carolina basketball. Let's take a look at Keba Keita at 6'8".
On inbound, just overplayed just a little bit that time by Stevenson. And Keba realized nobody behind him. I was just going to tip it to myself and throw this thing down. His ability to get off the floor, we're watching him in warm-ups, and I'm going, holy cow, this guy can jump out of the gym. And he looks like Hercules.
Absolutely. BYU learned in that first year in the Big 12 that it's like football with a round ball, and you got to get bigger, faster, stronger. And fantastic last year Wright can't get the roll to go down. He draws the foul. And it'll go against Jaden Young, his first. Jaden Young was at Virginia Tech last year. 58 games with the Hokies. And then moving over to Chapel Hill. Trimble back into the game for UNC. We'll show you that ACC preseason poll in just a bit. BYU 7 of 7 from the free throw line so far. Did that just jinx? Was that the preseason? I didn't think that counted in the preseason.
Everyone knows that you did that.
Here's Wilson, matched up with Richie Saunders. Stevenson in the lane. Nice turnaround shot.
Great job of creating space for himself off the contact, the step back off of 1 foot.
Junior out of Chapel Hill, I mentioned over to Alabama, and now back. And Saunders answers with a 3. Trimble brings it down. Goes up with the left hand. Had to adjust mid-flight. Right. Kick back. Davis. And Cada wasn't expecting it, and here come the Tar Heels. Nothing says exhibition more than what we're watching right here. As Wilson throws it down, he's got 6.
Get a little sense of his athleticism there, but at 6'10", how about the way he runs the floor? And you mentioned it earlier, you put the ball in his hand, he can play point guard if you need him to at 6'10". And on the other side, DeBonsa can do the same thing at 6'9".
Right, still looking for a lane to the basket. Boskovic up for 3. Mihailo Boskovic at 26% from the three-point line last season. Gets that one to go down, and the Cougars are back up by 1. Boskovic knocks it away now. Trimble's got it. Shot clock under 10. Up for 3. Rob Wright looking for Boskovic. And the Cougars turn it over.
He had him, was just a little tall.
And Duke, after getting smoked by UNLV the year before, came back and got him. And Duke again picked to win the league again. There's the big reach of the 7-footer. Lassar, he's got 4 points.
And one of the reasons I thought he'd be a big impact, North Carolina wasn't as good at offensive rebounding last year as they have been. And I know that Hubert Davis wanted to improve rebounding and brought a lot of size in this class.
A couple of missed threes by BYU. Tyler Maruss checking in for the first time for the Cougars. Didn't play in the Nebraska game, trying to get healthy. And he'll be on a minutes restriction tonight for BYU, but he's out on the floor here with just under 7 minutes to go in the first half. And the Tar Heels by 1. Wilson turnaround with a shot clock winding down, and he buries it.
Silky smooth, just rises up over the 6'6" Davis.
8 points for Wilson. 3-point North Carolina lead, their largest.
You know, BYU runs a ton of pick and roll, ball screen, attack the basket, get into the paint, kick, surrounds these downhill players with great shooters on the outside. That's Kevin Young's philosophy. Very NBA style of play. How about this shot by Caleb Wilson, knowing the shot clock was winding down?
First foul on Trimble. Saunders will step up to the free throw line. Jerem.
Adding to the conversation about Hubert Davis regarding the coaching staff all having played at North Carolina.
In basketball. Delta Center, BYU very much at home here. 25-5 all time in games that count. 19-1 in their last 20. Beat Wyoming here last year. Richie Saunders left that game with a concussion. Had to shake it off and wasn't quite himself until conference play came around, and then boy did he turn it on.
Trimble misses the second of those 2 free throws.
Here's DeBonsa. Wow! AJ with 11. Lead back to 4.
He got by, and the rotation came late. And if the rotation comes late on AJ, it's going down.
Cade on the steal for BYU.
Great anticipation. He watched the ball movement, tracked it, and got in great position.
Saunders on the drive. Left hand in. Now BYU in some good minutes. 7 points for Saunders.
Saunders around the rim. Like, he'll give you 3 ball fakes. He can shoot at either hand. He works around that pivot foot so hard to keep your feet on the ground when you're defending him down there. Very crafty.
Dixon into the lane, and he's fouled. Brooklyn Nets had 14 points the other night. The Nets are home against the Cavaliers tonight. 63 players from 14 Big 12 programs on NBA rosters as the league gets going. Here's a good look at Xavier Staten. 7 points for Trimble.
Trimble last year averaging 6.2 points, 2.6 rebounds a game, 31 double-figure games career. He's going to have a lot of double-figure games this year. They just need him to be one of those guys that's a nice offset for Caleb Wilson and can help some of that scoring.
Saunders with it.
Saunders just 1 for 6 from 3 right now, and this is one of the best three-point shooters in the country.
High off the glass.
You know what I like, though, is last 2 buckets got 9 points. He had that left-hander down the key. Now he drives. So he knows what you do. When you're a great shooter and it's not falling, you attack the basket. And you start to see the ball go in the hole, and then you move back, and then you start knocking down threes. Veteran, smart player.
Knocked out of bounds. Zayden High moving to the basket, denied. Davis back in. Boskovich is back in. Saunders going to come out. Diamande will come out for BYU. 2:59 to go here in the first half. On the drive, as Wilson motors his way to the basket, and he's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. And DeBonsa getting his first foul.
And they haven't been lining up on one another, but in the switch, you end up having the 2 freshmen head-to-head right there, and Wilson saying, okay, see what you got. I'm going to take you to the hole.
It's fun. They're matched up tonight, and then their professional careers, they're going to see each other all the time.
Oh, yeah.
This is just the beginning, or more of a continuation since they crossed paths on all those high school all-star games. And as you see High heading to the bench. 9 points for Caleb Wilson.
Caleb Wilson is, as you mentioned, Davis, like I've never met a nicer kid, because I'm telling you, he's the nicest kid in the world. Honor student in high school, 3.8 GPA. Like, he's a dream to be that kind of athlete. And then we talked to Kevin Young, and he's like, you've never seen a #1 player recruit in the world with the mentality that DeBonsa has. And we see him rise up on a miss there, but just humble, coachable, very polite, great young man.
DeBonsa out with it after the offensive rebound. Davis, shot clock at 4. DeBonsa moves in, calm, cool, throws it up, it's blocked. Good defensive stand. We'll see who challenge who on this end of the floor.
1-on-1.
Here they go. Wilson.
Just payback.
Now on the run. Right for 3 into the iron.
Wow. That was like one end and then the other. Like, here you go. Oh, no.
DeBonsa with another swat.
Double payback. You got both of these freshman star players fired up right now.
Yeah, this game doesn't count, but go tell those guys. Shot clock at 6. This will be a foul on Brown.
Yeah, moving on the screen there.
And James Brown picks up his first.
And this North Carolina team, we talk about not as good a rebounding team, especially in the offensive glass, as Hubert Davis likes. And, man, did they upgrade with size in the offseason. This is a big basketball team now. Brown coming off the bench at 6'10". Like, he's just got multiple 6'10" bodies that he can throw out there this year. The goal is to be a much better rebounding team.
Boot back into the game. Here's Boskovic. Right, doesn't need a lot. Just a little daylight to get to that basket. Here's Davis now. This will be an offensive foul on Davis as Evans holding his ground. That's the first on Kennard Davis, transfer from Southern Illinois. And BYU with big plans for Davis.
Yeah, and good position that time defense. Look how good that position is. And Davis, not only does he hit with his shoulder, he extends that arm, and an easy call for the officials.
Ryan gets the shot to go down. And Kyan Evans, 4 points. And now Wright leaves it for Bibb. And there's the first two for Kadeem Boot.
If you watch Rob Wright, his ability to like just change directions, like he'll go right, left, before you can blink an eye, and next thing you know, he's by it. What great lateral quickness with the ball in his hands.
Evans picks up his dribble and has to hand it over to Trimble. Another foul on North Carolina. It's James Brown again. And that's his second. The sophomore from Aurora, Illinois, picks up 2 quick ones.
And credit Davis for getting in good position to go over the top of that screen, and then Brown kind of had to lean into him. But like real hustle play to move and anticipate coming over the screen by Davis that time. Draws the foul.
Shot clock's off. 21 seconds left here in this first half. DeBonsa will start it at the top of the key. 10 seconds. Hands it over to Robert Wright III. Into the lane. And well defended by North Carolina from half court. Wilson. And that's how the first half comes to you. Didn't play at all in the second half at Nebraska, but his health has improved and getting more minutes. DeBonsa right to work.
Well, he elevates up, and it's almost like from that range, he shot the ball down into the basket.
Quick 3 answered back is good by Stevenson.
Did I say they were going to shoot better threes in the second half? There we go. Way to go, Stevenson.
Saunders goes down, and then the tie-up, and the possession arrow is going to go the other way.
I can't watch another 4 of 22 for these two teams. Run 3.
Yeah, someone's got to warm up here. Well, North Carolina looking at Kansas on November 7th. That's their big test right out of the gate. BYU with Villanova, as mentioned, on the 3rd, and then UConn on the 15th of November, and then Wisconsin back here on the 21st.
You see BYU running. It's more of a token press. They're not pressing to steal the ball. They're pressing to slow down the onset of this offense and change rhythm.
Another 3 for Stevenson. Kassar on the rebound. They'll swing it around. Trimble up for 3. Maybe not. Maybe we might just stay cold.
Hey, give him time. It's going to come. It's going to come.
Wright says, I'll shoot a 3 right here. That one's off. Okay. Saunders keeps it alive.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Saunders going up. They're in a hurry. Everyone's got somewhere to go tonight. There's a whistle and a foul on the rebound. The shot clock is not an issue here in the second half. The fouls against North Carolina's Jaron Stevenson is first.
And both of these teams have a similar philosophy when it comes to pace. Like Hubert Davis has said, I want to be the fastest team in America from free throw line to free throw line. Now, they want to take good shots. They want to play fast but not be in a hurry. And so they want to do that. And then BYU, Kevin Young, he wants just thoroughbreds to run up and down the floor and get points in transition. Then he wants guys that can play downhill and penetrate a defense like Rob Wright here and then kick the ball to great shooters on the perimeter. So both of these teams want to play with pace.
Down at the other end, the dive for the fumble. And the foul is going to go against Wilson, who can't quite believe it because he was diving with Davis. picks up his second foul. And
yeah, I don't know.
Hubert Davis wanting an explanation as to
I would
why
want
that
one
was.
too. I would want one too. Yeah, kind of a loose ball and loose ball situation. If one player has an angle in position and the other knocks him off, but let's take a look. Oh yeah, see, and you couldn't see. The official had a much better angle. Did you see how Wilson
Moved in,
leaned in,
yeah,
almost purposefully to create contact? Now that I see that angle, that's a good call. Very good call. I apologize for saying that it didn't look like one.
it's an exhibition, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Better angle. The official had a way better angle than I did.
Well, officiating crews all over the country are also getting in exhibition games. And
Right.
That can only be good for everybody.
There's a rhythm to officiating, too, just like there is to playing and making three-point shots, where you get used to looking at the angles and used to running up and down the floor and seeing the right thing. So this is good for everybody.
Queta waits for Davis. Shot clock's at 10. Here's A.J. DeBonsa. Three-point shot for Wright. DeBonsa on the rebound. And after all that, here come the Tar Heels with Trimble. And the Cougars take it away with DeBonsa. Did we mention this is a scrimmage, glorified scrimmage here tonight?
Hey, just for a minute there, it looked like a scrimmage, didn't it?
And DeBonsa loses it going in. Here come the Tar Heels. Bassar, slam dunk, 6 points. And it's a 1-point game. You can't stop that.
No.
Not at all.
7-footer run in the floor gets rewarded.
Here's Wright amongst the tall timbers. Leaves it for Queta.
Great feed with touch by Rob Wright to Queta, who has 12 points now. Remember I said both of these teams want to play fast, but not be in a hurry?
They're in a hurry.
They were in a hurry the last few times down the floor. That time, a slowed down offensive set, and they get a good shot.
Evans leaves it for Nassar, who's fouled, who go to the free throw line. We'll see who it's on. Looks like Davis, although they could have given it to. Yep, Kennard Davis gets the foul.
Queta went straight up with both hands, and Davis reached in from behind, so he gets the foul.
That's the second foul on Davis.
What makes Bassar so good is his versatility. You see, we've seen him finishing at the rim here and attacking the rim, especially in transition. But he's really comfortable just stepping out and knocking down threes.
68% from the free throw line last year. Jerem.
Bassar was a big pickup for UNC. He said, I just love the feeling of the community, seeing what the school really means to Chapel Hill, knowing that you play for so much more than yourself. Like the players that paved the way for you, seeing everybody come back during the summer just to talk to us. You talk about the alumni from UNC that come and play pickup during the summer. Ridiculous. And BYU would know that he's a good player. He scored 17 and 12 in 2 different games for Arizona against the Cougs last year.
Thank you, Jerem. Here's Saunders answering back for 3 and leaves it short. Evans out ahead to Trimble, and he finishes with a power jam. He's got 7 now, and now North Carolina in the lead.
How about Trimble showing you his athleticism? That's the second throwdown in transition we've seen out of him, and he can really elevate.
DeBonsa to answer back.
He gets into that paint, and that's 15 now for AJ. He gets into the paint one-on-one. There's not very many people in the country that can elevate high enough to block that shot when he shoots it from that elevation.
Wilson turnaround shot, air ball. Out with it is DeBonsa. Now Saunders a lane. Queta on the rebound. And then Stevenson hands it over to Evans. Here comes North Carolina. Wilson and DeBonsa. Knocked away by Queta. Here comes Davis. And right off the foot and out of bounds. Time consensus All-American. Mastered that four corners offense. And then 82 after he was gone. North Carolina ran that to perfection. Won the ACC championship, beating Virginia. The next year, the ACC goes, you know what, let's start thinking about a shot clock. And then 2 years later, 1985, the NCAA said shot clocks for everybody. And that was it for the four corners offenses. DeBonsa going to go to the free throw line.
DeBonsa rises up again to try to shoot that little elevate in the middle of the key over the top, and gets hit on the wrist on the release. And that's the one way to keep him from making that shot, is to hit him on the wrist. He is so effective with that.
Second foul on Trimble.
Johnson now with 15 on 5 of 10 from the field. You know, he hasn't had a three-point attempt, and he's a good three-point shooter.
Richie Saunders, a good three-point shooter, is 1 for 8. And Rob Wright from the field is 1 for 8.
I'll tell you what, as I'm looking through, each break we get a chance to take a look at the stats in depth, and the thing that jumps out at me is that UNC has 13 turnovers and BYU 10. Now, I would think that both of these teams in an up-tempo game with two teams this good, the goal would be 12 in a game. And we're just getting going here in the second half. And UNC's over that, and BYU's closing in on it. So
Kostic back into the game for BYU. Steal by Davis. Vassar trying to run him down. No chance. And the first basket of the night for Kennard Davis, Jr. Gets the lid off the basket for the Southern Illinois transfer. And gets some energy into the building. Trimble over Saunders, convinces it to fall in. And Seth has 9. Davis with it. Saunders going, one of these got to go in. There it goes.
And usually with him, and that's why when you're Kevin Young, I guarantee you every time he missed and ran by, Kevin said, keep shooting it. Just keep shooting. You're our best catch-and-shoot shooter, and we got to have you figure that out. And so, especially in an exhibition game, you just keep shooting, and they're eventually going to fall.
Trimble for 3. Wilson on the rebound, moving around. Boskovic gets it back, puts it in.
Love the resolve.
12 for Wilson.
Of Wilson. I love the way he plays defense, but I also love the way he just kept that alive, kept grinding down there until he got it up and in the bucket.
Saunders. A late whistle, and that'll send Saunders to the line to shoot 2. And there's a Powell down there, as we see Kennard Davis throwing it down.
Transition, you get the steal, leads to a run out, and then down to the other end of the floor, Richie Saunders with the 3. And now he comes down and he goes to the basket this time, and on a gets the defender off his feet a little bit, little shove in the back, draws the foul. And you say late whistle. Sometimes I think they sit and they go, wait, is this going to affect the shot or not? And when they miss an easy layup like that, they go, yeah, that push in the back affected it. Got to call it.
Jonathan Powell picked up his 2nd. Davis is out, and Kadeem Mboop is in for BYU. 14 now for Saunders. 53-48. Dixon. Nice catch down low. Boskovic fouls Wilson and sends him to the free throw line. Boskovic saying, I'm not giving up a dunk on my watch. I'd rather have him shoot 2.
How about the pass? Just beautiful. Derek Dixon going down with a bounce pass between 2 defenders. Just at the perfect height for Wilson to receive it and go strong to the rim.
Dixon with 7 points. And it's something interesting about Wilson and DeBonsa. It's their demeanor at the free throw line. It just looks so natural.
Yeah, very comfortable. Well, and they've played in all these all-star games, and
this is rhythm.
They're used to being in the spotlight. They've been in the spotlight since they were young players. DeBonsa's got 3 international medals.
Yeah.
He played in the U.S. U16 team. He's played the U17 team. They just went and won the international tournament on the U19 team where he was MVP. He's been playing international.
Bogovac, we expect to be in that starting lineup.
Yeah.
Who's not playing tonight. And Kostic leaves it short. Boom! How about that effort?
That's just a pure effort play. I love that.
4 points for the redshirt freshman at 6'9" out of the Senegal. Hustle points for BYU. Williams over Boop. Kostic has it for the Cougars. Now right. Davis for 3. And here comes Trimble and the Tar Heels. Evans, lob it in his side to Vassar. The quick hands of Davis knocked it away, but it'll be North Carolina basketball. And Davis went out of bounds and then came back in, all in the same play. And so the Tar Heels get him. How about this effort from Boop?
Yeah, great. He got into the key quickly, and then used his leverage. He's a strong 6'9", and just fought his way to the basketball.
Keba Keita and A.J. Devonsa back in for BYU. 3 minutes and 13 seconds of scoreless basketball for North Carolina. Double team in the corner. Trimble passes on the 3, gets a 2 off the glass.
Smart.
And he's got 11 points.
Passed up a good shot for a great shot.
57-55 as we near 9 minutes. Wright, Whelan, and Dealin. And the first 3 of the night from Maras is off, and ball knocked out of bounds. BYU will keep it. Tyler Maras, a transfer from Idaho, outstanding outside shooter. Again, limited minutes tonight. One of the Cougars been banged up during fall camp. And that was his first shot of the evening. Keba Keita is at the free throw line.
Yeah, the scouting report on Maras is that BYU brought him in because he's a lights-out, spot-up jump shooter. And when you have a Rob Wright at point guard who's going to break defenses down and get defenses into rotations, you want that guy spotting up outside where you kick it out to him and he consistently knocks down threes. That spreads the floor for you. And that's going to be his role for BYU.
Keita 3 for 3 on the stripe tonight, Jerem.
There's only one player on BYU's team that has a higher vertical than A.J. Devonsa. It's Keba Keita, 41 inches. His brother plays professionally in Italy. He's played all over the world in volleyball. I don't know if BYU men's volleyball coach Sean Olmsted has talked to Keba, but he's got a future in either sport, I think.
Oh, yeah. 14 points and 8 rebounds so far tonight for Keba. Can you imagine defending him at the net?
Well, yeah. Think about that. At 6'9", he's getting his head up over the rim. That's a vertical.
Look out.
Oh, baby.
There comes Caleb Wilson.
The sea just parted, and he went and threw it down. Think about Keba Keita. Like, when he can get a running start, a couple of steps and jump, he can touch the top of the backboard.
Wilson was 16. 3 dunks so far tonight. And Wright trying to feed the interior. Here's Wilson again. And he's fouled by Maras. And he'll go to the free throw line. Still down for the moment. This just opened up, and in he comes, throws it down.
Yeah, coming off of that screen, he was surprised himself that nobody rotated out. And here's the foul on the other end. See the reach over and the contact. And Caleb Wilson kind of hit that stand. Looks like he's okay, though.
He regroups and limps his way to the free throw line. Chance to tie the game. 59-57, 8:12 to go. Maras picks up the foul. It would be fun to see Wilson and Devonsa go toe-to-toe the rest of the way.
They just cover. Are you talking about like on both ends?
Just each time
covering
down.
each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun, really. It'd be a matchup of wills.
He might be getting a little tired. Misses both of them. Boop on the rebound. DeBanza wants the ball. Wright tries to hand it to Queta. Eventually does. Out come the Tar Heels with it. Trimble. And the follow by Wilson. He's got 18.
I watched Caleb Wilson run the right lane all the way down the floor. Didn't get the basketball, but is rewarded with that easy putback.
Tied up at 59. Boop from the corner for three. Spark plug off the bench. 7 points.
And you watch this BYU team, and they're not hitting threes today. But the MO on this team is that they can hit threes. The way they attack is, what a game that
Vassar off the
Vassar
glass
is having. The way they play so downhill, I mean, they get into the paint. They force you to collapse your defense. It seems to me like this team's going to get a lot of clean looks from three.
Maras for three.
And they're just not knocking them down tonight. And those are not contested threes. That's wide open.
62-61. Vassar says, I'll take one. And Boop on the rebound.
Let's face it, this hasn't been a three-point shooting exhibition by either team.
Not for the lack of trying. Wright swoops into the lane and finally gets one to go. It's been a while. He's got 6 points. Now 2 of 10 from the field. And the Cougar lead is 3. And the Tar Heels want a timeout. 6:36 to go. 64-61 in this exhibition clash.
Tournament this next year. And so you're going to get a shot. You got to be playing at your best at that time of year.
14 for Seth Trimble. North Carolina leads at 66-64. Trimble assigned to deal with DeBanza at the moment. And here they are. DeBanza up for three. Queta saves it, but steps on the line. And it'll be North Carolina basketball. DeBanza's first three of the night.
See that toe on the line? Good call. Now, I really like the way Seth Trimble has played in this game. And as we mentioned, he's the guy that needs to be the glue guy for this team. He knows what it takes. He's been there.
Strong to the basket. Wilson over DeBanza. And AJ, they've taken an elbow. He's slow to get up. 22 for Wilson. Largest lead for North Carolina tonight, 68-64.
Rob Wright says, okay, you know what? Wait for my guy to come down. We'll let him get up off the floor and get down here before we set this offense.
Wright moves in with a one-hander and convinces it to go in.
Wright, who averaged 11.5 points and 4.2 assists for Baylor last year's true freshman.
He's got 8 here tonight. DeBanza and Wilson matched up against each other. Wilson in the far corner at the moment. Stevenson into Vassar and matched up with Queta.
He walked.
And he turns it over on the travel.
Yeah, he picked up, he made a little jump start where he picked both feet up before he put the ball down. So he picked that pivot foot off the floor.
Jerem.
Last huddle, UNC head coach Hubert Davis focused on communication, wants his guys to talk a little more on defense. And then generally speaking, he said, hey, let's turn it up right now. It's the end of the game. Let's go.
It's winning time. 68-66. We near the 4-minute mark. The big three for BYU. Wright, Saunders, DeBanza on the floor. Wright gets bumped and is fouled. And he'll go to the free throw line. Evans picks up his third.
You know, we talk about this being an exhibition, and the 28 turnovers for the combined team, 17 for North Carolina, 11 for BYU, makes it feel like an exhibition. But does this intensity feel like an exhibition to you?
This is good stuff.
No, these guys are going at each other. I appreciate that.
When North Carolina is dealing with Kansas and BYU's dealing with Villanova on opening week, they'll be glad they had this. Right on the miss. 79% free throw shooter last year with the Bears. As Saunders goes out and Davis checks back in for BYU. Missed them both. Evans walks it across. DeBansa trying to knock it away from Wilson. Now Wilson with the pull-up. Bošković on the board. DeBansa wants the ball. Davis takes it in, gets fouled. It'll count.
It seems like it's a challenge everywhere. Everybody's bringing, like Houston didn't bring in a bunch of guys. That's why they're preseason number 2. But seems like everywhere, including Houston, has some transfers that you got to meld together.
69-68.
BYU's got a good core back, but they've got a bunch of new faces. Can Kevin Young bring them together?
Evans has got it, matched up by Davis. Nassar on the drive over Keita.
Wow.
And it's 70-69. That's 12
That's a big
for Nassar.
That's a big time play. They took it all the way from the top of the key, 7-footer, and put it on the floor and drove to the bucket.
These guys are like, we did this last year. What's the big deal? As BYU and Arizona had some classic battles. Cougars won in Tucson, Wildcats won in Provo. DeBansa wants the lob. Here's Keita, lays it in.
Great ball fake. He raised the ball up and with a great ball fake to move the defender and then get right to the front of the ring.
16 for Keita to go with his 8 rebounds. 71-70.
It's just a battle of big guys the last 2 times down the floor.
Stevenson takes it in. And a whistle and a foul. And it'll be against Bošković, his second.
Let's go. So this is down on the UNC side. Nassar going, okay, you know what? I got this. Now on the other end. Big guy on big guy. Great ball fake. Gets him off his feet and a finish at the rim. 2 big-time plays by the 2 big guys out there, back-to-back down the floor.
Stevenson, 59% last year from the free throw line at Alabama. And this one's off. This next one can tie the game. And Stevenson and his Crimson Tide eliminated BYU from the big dance in that Sweet 16 matchup. For the tie. Got it. 9 points. Into the game comes Jonathan Powell. And Kyan Evans will check out. Couldn't ask for much more than this.
This is just, yeah.
Coaches are up, coaching every second. And it's got a lot of feel of a real one. Yeah, BYU takes a timeout.
I watched during that entire free throw sequence down there, Kevin Young was on the grease board, drawing up something. So now his team gets the ball, they come down, and he's got a thought on what he wants to do with this possession. Grinds in both of these leagues. You play in the ACC or the Big 12, regular season is a grind.
Absolutely. Right into the lane, passes out of the double team. Davis for 3. And with 2 minutes to go, it's 74-71.
That's the play that Kevin Young drew up while they're shooting the free throw to get a good look. And even though they've not been knocking down threes, he draws up a drive and kick where there's an option for Wright to either finish at the rim or kick it to an open 3 shooter.
Trimble, the senior. Evans has got it.
Caleb Wilson is due to make a big play right now.
Nassar off the glass and in.
Or you give it to your 7-footer who's been really good down the stretch.
He's got 14. It's a 1-point game.
And I like the way he's attacking in this one.
DeBansa over to right. Lane opens up and he finishes at the rim.
Last time he got to the rim and kicked. This time he takes it all the way to the rim for his 10th point. Double digits now for Rob Wright.
76-73. The crowd making some noise here on this Friday night. Tell them this thing doesn't count. There's a 3 off the mark. Nassar had it for a moment and lost it out of bounds. He's saying he got fouled.
He's saying he got held, and he wants them to review it. I don't know if they can review whether he got fouled. They can only review who it went off.
And they're not going to review. Let's see what
Here we go. Yeah, he was saying that he got held. He wasn't disputing whether or not it went off of him. He's like, I got held, and they're not going to review that. They would review if they thought that there was a question on who it went off of.
Some full court pressure for the first time. Under a minute to go. Over to Debansa. Now it's Wright. Wright has been the difference maker down the stretch. Now the shot clock arrives at 10. Big defensive moment for the Tar Heels. Wright for three, top of the key, air ball. Wilson brings it out. Spins into the lane. Blocked by Boskovic. Wright's out with it. And a reach and a foul on Vassar with 22 seconds to go. Well, the Tar Heels got the shot they were hoping for. Just lost his balance at the end, and Boskovic there defensively.
And he started to reach over the top and then pull the watch. Boy, that was a really nice job of Boskovic of keeping that. Players, it's just like you can't keep yourself disciplined from reaching over the top of a player in that situation. And Boskovic did a really nice job of that time of keeping his arm up and not going over the top and over the cylinder.
Wright is 2 for 5 from the stripe. 3 for 6. That makes it a 2-possession game. 77-73. So BYU and North Carolina have met 5 times for real. Tar Heels have won all 5. North Carolina is the only team BYU has not beaten with a minimum of 5 games. And they may get with this one tonight. It won't count.
It's still going to be. It's still going to be.
But it's interesting that it's the Tar Heels that they haven't been able to get in the regular season or postseason. Maybe they'll see each other down the line. 5-point lead. Evans. Stevenson, not a lot of time to waste here. Trimble will hit for 3, and he's fouled. Debansa. Can't believe it. Tony Padilla rings him up, and it's going to send Trimble to the line for 3 shots. Yeah, AJ might have a case there, but what matters to North Carolina is Seth Trimble is at the free throw line. He gets 3 shots. Kevin Young in the ear of Tony Padilla going, hey, when it counts, I don't want to see that call out to me.
2 of 4 on the night for Trimble from the free throw line. These are big ones right here.
And the senior makes the first one. .15 points on the night. Last year he averaged 11, but his role is completely different from the one he's got this year. Second's good. What is it about seniors and free throws?
Especially down the stretch. This is when they've got to make them, right? This is where you establish yourself. This is where you go, I'm the senior, and I put the ball in my hand down the stretch. I'll make the right decision. I'll get to the free throw line. I'll finish if I'm open. I'll hit it. I'll kick it to the right guy. And if I get fouled, I'll make the free throws.
Gets all 3. 78-76. And into Richie Saunders quickly. The foul will send Saunders to the line with 9.5 seconds. And Saunders hit so many clutch free throws last year as he earned first team all Big 12 honors.
You want guys that say, I want to be on the line when the game's on the line. This is where I want to be, because I will make these.
The 2 free throws he shot and made in Tucson in BYU's win at Arizona were about as money as it gets, with the most pressure on it.
And this one's
a big one here.
There's pressure because you just want to win, whether it's an exhibition or not. And this makes it so that the best North Carolina can do is tie the game, and he misses both. Huge
Wilson
misses.
on the rebound. Final seconds and a timeout called by.
You got to have a plan. You can throw it in, one good pass to an open shooter and get it off.
5.5.
Or you can throw it in and have somebody attack.
Here we go. Vassar's got it. Bounce pass to Trimble, and it's blocked. And that's how it's going to end.